resolution, and you may begin.
Well, I want to start by saying this is an extremely sad situation, and it's always sad when someone so young passes. However, any sworn youth parent should not be bringing a suit against Monster. I want to remind everyone that correlation is not causation. And just because she had a Monster 3 hours before going into cardiac arrest does not mean that it was the cause. As John had said, Monster has about 14 times as much caffeine as soda. So in one Monster 24-ounce can has 240 milligrams. A venti Starbucks coffee has 475 milligrams. And soda's a 16-ounce Starbucks has 330 milligrams, both of which are more than a 24-ounce can of Monster. So if you want to say that Monster is endangering people, so is Starbucks. The lethal dose for caffeine is 5,000 milligrams, and that's the lower end. 10,000 is usually what people would go with. So to put that in perspective, in order for someone to reach the lethal dose, you need to drink 21 24-ounce cans back to back to back and so on. So obviously this makes it clear that the amount of caffeine that she had doesn't even come close to the lethal dose and is well within the means of what most people drink in a day. An applied nutritionist, Mark McCarty, says that there's never been another case of a child who has died from acute exposure to the equivalent of 4 coffee cups of caffeine. And there is nothing in the literature that would support that this would ever happen. Furthermore, in the past, she has been seen regularly drinking multiple energy drinks within a day, as well as frequently drinking Starbucks coffee without any incident. And as he had said, the cause of death was cardiac arrhythmia due to caffeine, with complications due to mitral valve regurgitation in the setting of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. She had many abnormalities, which include mitral valve prolapse and a large heart and myocardial fibrosis. All of these conditions increase the risk of cardiac arrhythmia and sudden death. And while the medical examiner did say that caffeine toxicity was the cause to trigger it, there was never a blood test done to actually confirm this, making it an assumption, not a fact. And when the examiner was asked, the only reason she put caffeine toxicity down was because the mother had told her that she had had a caffeinated drink beforehand. Also, the state of Maryland hired an independent pathologist which determined the cause of death not to be caffeine toxicity, but rather cardiac fibrosis, which is one of her pre-existing conditions. All these facts show that Monster was not the cause of Miss Fournier's untimely passing, but rather was her compromised cardiovascular system.